What is going on, Rise of Kingdoms fans? Welcome back to the channel for a brand new video. I am Wispy Gaming, and in today's video, we will be discussing Alexander the Great. Now, huge shout out to Henry and Beast. This video was suggested by them in one of my previous videos in the comments on whether or not you should upgrade your T4 to T5. I'll have that video linked in the description below, and I'll also have it at the end screen as well, so you guys can check that out after this video. Now, if you like commander guides that help you optimize your commander portfolio and help you dominate your enemies in the open field, then consider subscribing, because we do commander guides and stuff like that here on the channel. Now, back to Alexander the Great. Alexander is an infantry, versatility, and attack commander. So, let's go ahead and let's take a look at his skills. So, Alexander's first skill, he gives you a shield for 4 seconds, and the damage factor is, it can absorb the damage factor of 1200. During the effect of the shield, up to 3 enemy troops in a circular area take 30% more damage. So with this skill, you are providing a buff on the battlefield when his active skill goes off, causing enemies in a certain area to take 30% more damage. He also puts up a smaller shield that protects either his own or any nearby allied troops for 2 seconds, and it absorbs up to 600 damage. His second skill, he does a 1700 direct damage factor, which is pretty good. 1700, that's pretty solid. Plus, you got to take into the effect that you're also, with his first skill, 30% more damage if you get lucky and that procs and it coincides together. It's a lot of damage. You are also having a 30% healing reduction. So up until this point, Richard is one of the top used infantry commanders because he's the first wheel commander. I'll go ahead and throw up on the screen and show you guys where this commander lands in your kingdom and the time period. And so basically, Alexander is the first commander to come into the game to counter Richard's big heal. So by 30%, you cut the healing reduction. His third skill provides an infantry march speed of 30% when maxed out, which is very huge because infantry are very slow on the battlefield, and he is the first infantry commander to come in to the kingdom where he is providing an extra march speed bonus to give you more versatility on the battlefield. He is also providing a 30% attack bonus. Now, I know attack in the past was pointed out to not being the best stat in the game. Well, there have been changes to where in KVK, and I believe in Ark of Osiris as well, that it is a damage boost instead of an attack increase. It is a damage increase, which makes your attack more valuable because the damage boost is elevating your attack. So the more attack you have, the more damage you'll do, instead of, the past notion was if you're getting a lot of attack, go with a different stat. But now that it's damage, attack is more valuable. So his fourth skill, when Alexander is not using his active shield, he gets another 40% attack bonus. So that's massive. That's a lot of attack. But when he is shielded, he's gaining a 30% damage or defense bonus. And so you're either getting an attack or defense. So you're not getting them both at the same time. So his active skill, you're gaining the circular 30% increased damage for 4 seconds to any enemies nearby. So without it, you're still getting the 1200 shield, but you're gaining the 30% circular attack. So you're getting that debuff. Now, the order in which I would unlock these skills in, I would go 5, 5, 5, 1. So Alexander's skills, they're all really good and they're all very useful. He's not like a garrison commander to where if you're not going to use him for garrison, there's a skill that you want to skip. I mean, his first skill, you're providing a shield for yourself, which makes you more tanky. You're also providing a small shield for one of your allied troops next to you. His second skill, that's when you're getting the big damage factor, so you don't want to skip out on that one. So max that one as well. And you're getting the healing reduction by 30%, so you finally have somebody to counter all the Richard the Firsts on the field. The third skill, you're getting the march speed bonus, which is honestly the most attractive part to me on this skill. So you wouldn't want to skip any of these. And honestly, Alexander is worth the expertise. It doesn't matter if you're an infantry, cav, or archer player. Alexander is worth expertising right behind Yi Song-ye, YSG. The reason for this is because then you can bring an Alexander YSG march on the field, and not only will you be providing that debuff, you have a march that is not only tanky but provides a massive punch on the battlefield. So regardless of what route you take, Alexander is a must-have and a must expertise. Now, here are some talent builds for Alexander. So this one is open field, no skill damage. So if you pair him with another commander that doesn't do skill damage, like let's say Charles Martel, you do the full infantry, but you skip out on the defense. You go full infantry, get the march speed, get the health, get this extra point of health up here. And then you're going to go down to martial mastery. And the reason for this is you're increasing all attack damage by 6%, but you're decreasing active skill by 3%. Well, guess what? Alexander and Charles Martel do not have active skill damage. So you're not losing anything here, but you're gaining 6%. And then I would go down here, pick up some more march speed. And at this point, your Alex is going to be pretty fast. He's going to be pretty fast on the field. Now, this build is a sunset and rally build. So you skip all the march speed. You don't need any of that. You pick up effortless, because if you're doing rallies or sunset, well, guess what? Your battles are going to last longer than 10 seconds. So you're increasing all damage dealt by 2.5% every 10 seconds to a maximum of 10%. You're probably going to reach that maximum of 10% extra damage. So it's definitely worth picking up. And then you do go over here, you get fight to the death, you get martial mastery, and this is your ultimate like rallying and sunset build. So this build is the exact same as the no skill damage, except you skipped martial mastery and you came over here and you got fight to the death. The reason for this is you are increasing all damage dealt by 6%, but also increase all damage taken by 3%. That, you're still getting a 2-for-1 there, 6% for 3%. But say you're bringing YSG. Well, you want that big active skill damage. You don't want to decrease YSG's skill damage, or even Sun Tzu or anybody else. that does skill damage. You don't want to decrease it at all because that's your money maker. That's why you're bringing a skill damage commander behind Alexander. So those are the builds for that. Now, very good optimal pairings for Alexander the Great. You have not Genghis Khan. You have Richard the First. If you want more tankiness, you put Richard the First primary, Alexander secondary. If you want a little more punch and a little less tankiness, it's still going to be pretty tanky, let's be honest. But you go Alexander primary and Richard secondary. Another really good pairing is, honestly, you could do Ethelfled. Her debuff is pretty good. I would not use Ethelfled primary. I would use Alexander primary in this situation. Still go full infantry, so you're going to miss out on some of her skills, but you're still getting the AoE, and you're still getting the attack, defense, and health reduction debuff. What I've been using all KVK is Charles Martel. Charles Martel and Alexander are a great pairing. Very good. And surprisingly, they are really good at rallying cities. So in KVK2, you don't have Attila Takeda yet. Well, Alexander and Charles Martel is practically the infantry version of Attila Takeda. Works very well in rallies. I would go Alex primary, Charles secondary, because Charles active skill increase damage bonus by 30%. Well, guess what? Alexander also does a damage bonus of 30%. You see what I'm saying? They go like peanut butter and jelly. Very good. Very, very good. YSG, come on. Do I even need to spend any time on this? It's an amazing pair. Alexander primary, YSG secondary, ton of kills. Ton of kills. Now, you could go Alexander and Frederick the First. That is a ton of damage. Not very tanky. A little tanky because of Alexander, but Frederick isn't really he's giving you a little bit of a heal, but pretty good damage. It definitely would work. McMed would be okay, but I still wouldn't recommend it. You could do Constantine. Constantine could work. Just like Richard the First, if you want more tankiness, Constantine primary, Alex secondary. If you want more punch, reverse it. We don't have Guan Yu yet, but Guan Yu, Alex, everybody knows that is an amazing pairing. So I don't have him, so I can't really cover it. Sun Tzu and Alexander, very good. Very, very good. So Alex primary, Sun Tzu secondary. You're getting the AoE. You're getting the 10% damage reduction. You're getting the 10% health. Gives Alexander even more tankiness. So that's a really, really good pairing. You could do Joan of Arc. But I would pair, Joan of Arc more with either Martel or Richard. Just more tankiness. You want to have Joan on the field as long as possible, and she doesn't provide any tankiness, so your Alexander will probably get melted pretty fast if it's with Joan of Arc, but it could work. You could do Scipio. He does provide some tankiness. You get the damage taken reduction, the bonus counter attack. You get to bring more troops. Not terrible. Osman's a pretty good pickup. He does a lot of damage for an epic, and you get to bring more troops. So Osman, it's actually a pretty good pick for him. That's about all the pairings that I would suggest that you use. I guess you could use Caesar, but I really wouldn't. But I mean, you could. It wouldn't be that ridiculous if a Caesar Alexander were together, but you just don't see it that often. Okay guys, so there's the breakdown of Alexander. We talked about each of his skills, the order to unlock him, determined that he is 100% worth the expertise. No matter if you're an infantry, cav, or archer player, he's just good to have on your roster. We went over what he's good at. He's amazing in the open field. He's surprisingly good for rallies, especially for KVK2. He does extremely well. Yeah, so Alexander the Great, he's a must-have, must expertise. Well, I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you have any other suggestions for any future videos or future commanders you would like a guide on, hit me up in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Wispy Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next video.